siyabingelela kuwe
Nkosi yamakho, Nkosi yamakho, Nkosi yamakho.
Amvele mncane anomkhubulwane aramaseni angwedi aqamat antu amulibet anpu Mqaphikazi. Wena ongamele isigungu samadlozi, wena mqaphi womnyango ovalela ubumnyama, wena mhambi ohamba endleleni kaMaat, wena uhlala entabeni yakho, phangisa uyezweni elingcwele, ngoba sengiyaphakama, vuka nawe uma ngikubiza, Anpu, wena uhlala egunjini lokuqhuma umzimba womufi, beka izandla zakho phezu kwebhokisi elivalele umzimba wami, lula insithezelo yakho, ifinyelele nasesiphongweni sami, busisa lenqaba ngokuvela kwakho, ngiholele endleleni yokulunga. Mqaphikazi, amulibeti, Anpu, nalihu. Bayede kuwe Anpu, mqaphi wesango lasentshonalanga, wena unamehlo abona ezweni lamathongo, ungumhlahlandlela, mqaphi womnyango omkhulu wezulu, mqaphi wezwe lokhokho, wena uhloniphekile kulabo ababusa imimoya, yamadoda nabesifazane, yakusondeza, thabatha induku yakho yobukhosi, ungamukele endaweni yakho, wena mqaphi wezindawo ezifihlekile, mqaphi wesango lasentshona, ngivumele ngingene ezweni labathulile, ngifunde ukukhuluma ngaphandle kwamazwi, uma kusa ngizovuka ngingomunye wabalandeli bakho, ngizoba ngomunye walabo abalandela emuva kwakho, ngime ngiqaphe nawe, ngizoba umncedisi wakho, vuleka mnyango wasentshonalanga ngingene, nduku yobukhosi Anpu, ngihole kule sango, Mqaphikazi, amulibeti, Anpu, na umphathi. bayede kuwe Anpu,
bayede kuwe Anpu,
wena unobuso bempungushe,
wena unobuso bempungushe,
Mqaphi wezwe lokhokho,
Mqaphi wezwe lokhokho,
ungumholi walaba abakulandelayo,
umholi walaba abakulandelayo.
ngibonise indlela engingahamba ngayo,
Ngibonise indlela engingahamba ngayo,
ngokuthula, ngoba ngiqotho,
ngoba ngiqotho.
bayede kuwe Anpu,
Bayede kuwe Anpu,
uwathi
uwathi
mvuli wezindlela,
mvuli wezindlela,
udumo kuwe Heri,
udume kuwe Heri,
Seshat,
Seshat,
mvuli wezindlela,
mvuli wezindlela,
wena osemfihlakalweni,
wena osemfihlakalweni.
ngiyakudumisa wena Kentwi,
Ngiyakudumisa wena Kenti,
Amentwi,
Amentwi,
wena nkosana yezwe lasentshona,
wena nkosana yezwe lasentshona.
bayede kuwe Neptajosa,
Bayede kuwe Neptajosa,
uyinkosi yendawo engcwele,
uyinkosi yendawo engcwele.
siyavusela kuwe Immuted,
Siyavusela kuwe Immuted,
wena uhlala egunjini lokumbeza umzimba womufi,
wena uhlala egunjini lokumbeza umzimba womuntu.
Mqaphikazi,
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 Anpu,
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 Molebedi,
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 Mthethokazi,
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 Ama-Art,
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 Mlomokazi,
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 Jehud,
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 Ashu,
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 Tefnut,
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 Anut,
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 Ageb,
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 Asa,
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 Oset,
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 Aset,
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 Aneptet,
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 Anpu,
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 Asechmet,
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 Amshab,
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 Alifat,
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 Aah Het-Her,
Aah Het-Her,
Aah Het-Her,
Aah Het-Her,
Aah Het-Her,
Aah Het-Her,
Aah Heru,
Aah Heru,
Aah Heru,
Aah Heru,
Aah Heru,
Aah Heru.
Wemveli nqangi,
Inkosi yamabutho, uyinkosi yamabutho,
siyabingelela kuwe,
inkosi yamabutho,
wemveli nqangi,
inkosi yamabutho, uyinkosi yamabutho,
siyabusela kuwe,
inkosi yamabutho,
Good evening, kings and queens.
Afternoon still.
Welcome to Great Empire of Kemet, Bonabakhulu Enjoy. My name is Juliana Strongani. Today's topic is the DNA and the Kemetic tree. The Kemetic tree is our DNA. We activate it every time when we do Mqaphikazi. So now I'm just giving you a little nibble, something sweet. So that's why we must never miss Mqaphikazi. What I wanted to say is that Mkhulu's knowledge is very good. It slaps harder than Will Smith. He's a very talented person. One last thing, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers. Thank you for joining in, and June is around the corner, so we got to prepare. Anyways, before I leave, I wanted to say that we love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining in. Yeah.
Representing the kingdom of Aah Het-Her. Aah Het-Her.
Aah Het-Her.
Aah Het-Her.
Aah Het-Her.
So we gather here every Sunday at 897 PL Street, Orlando East for Umpahlo at 12 o'clock. But we don't only gather here for that, we also gather here to listen to the lectures of Mkhulu and to unlearn. So we are currently in the season of Anpu. 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 Mqaphikazi. So this season started on the 23rd of April and is ending on the 23rd of May. Anpu is the ancient Egyptian in the name of the god of the dead. Anpu assumed different roles in various contexts. Depicted as a protector of the graves, he was replaced by Asa in the role of the Lord in the underworld. So the things that align us with Anpu, Inyanga is April, Ije is serpentine, Umbala is black, Intimbi is brass, Impepo is calcium, Amaka is camphor, Isihlahla is date palm, Izilwane is dog, jackal, wolf, and beetle. So to find and follow us on our social media platforms, on Instagram at GEK_movement, on Twitter is GEK_movement or GEK Bonabakhulu, on Facebook is GEK Movement Bonabakhulu Basekemu, on YouTube is Great Empire of Kemet, and we are now available on Spotify and Apple Podcast at Great Empire of Kemet Bonabakhulu. So on the Apple and Spotify podcast, we are there for listening to the audios if you don't want to look at the live videos on YouTube. Handing it over to Cecilia to tell us more about the market for today.
The market for today, we have the herbal products. I recommend that you use this with warm water or you drink it with cold water, since flu is coming through. The rub. Rub is very good because you apply it onto your chest and back using umele. What I wanted to say about the booksman is that I have never seen any book company that searches, finds, and delivers like this. Example, some of their books.
Very good.
And this one. Yes. You can also find them that side at the corner to help you. The portraits are very good for the truth seekers because the truth hurts, but it will also set you free.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I like all of the designs and I think this is very nice and unique. Thank you so much for having me. Once again, my name is Cecilia Juliana.
And then on Wednesdays, we give platform to Black-owned businesses to market their businesses. For that, send info at gekmovement.org. We also have our Kemet chat. You can get it by going to the website at www.gekmovement.org. Then this is the African Royal Calendar. Mkhulu reads from when he does umphato. So about the African Royal Calendar, please note that the dates are not the same as the calendar you have at the back of your kitchen door. The dates don't go as the 1st to the 31st, but the 23rd to the 23rd. These go by seasons, not months. And fortunately, we don't have an English version of the African Royal Calendar. It's not just a calendar, it's the African Royal Calendar. So please get yourself one. It's only 150 rand. If you don't want to fetch it from isigodlo, you can contact the booksman. They'll find, search, and deliver it on time. Find them and follow them on all social media platforms. While on that, we are asking for translators. Anyone who wants to translate the African Royal Calendar, please do volunteer and contribute your talent towards translating the African Royal Calendar. Then this bag. This bag is done by the Truth Seekers. Anpu. They also have the handbag that has Amantang le Anpu. Please do get yourself one to align with your season. It's not just for Anpu, all the seasons are available while stock lasts. Tokozeni, Nagalina Kinaneo representing the kingdom of Aah Het-Her. Aah Het-Her.
Aah Het-Her.
Aah Het-Her.
Aah Het-Her.
Anumkhulu.
Anumkhulu.
Ingwe,
Emabalabala, ingwe, oh ingwe, mabalabala, emabalabala. amabala wayo iwe
Lunglegelele, oh malunglegelele, lunglegelele, isinglegelele malu.
Sabe,
Fuma, Fuma, Fuma.
Siyavuma.
Fuma, Fuma.
Siyavuma.
Siyavuma, Fuma.
Siyavuma.
Siyavuma, Fuma.
Siyavuma.
Umingoma makhosi Fuma.
Siyavuma.
Ubemnandi kubekhethe Fuma.
Siyavuma.
Ake nivumi. Vumelani tongaloba. Ake nivumi. Vumelani tongaloba. Ake nivumi. Vumelani tongaloba. Vuma, sebetha mvumo baba, vuma, sebetha mvumo,
Vuma sebeta vume, vuma sebeta
Vuma,
vuma sebeta
vuma,
vuma sebeta
vume wena,
vuma sebeta
vume baba,
vuma sebeta
vuma,
vuma
vume baba,
vuma sebeta
vume baba.
vuma sebeta Lahla ke.
Mlule mkhulu. Mlule. Mlule mkhulu.
Thokoza, lahla. Thokozini. Siyabonga.
Alright, my stomach was just shaking his hand. A round of applause. The topic today is the DNA and the Kemetic tree of life. Bullies. Let's start with gratitude. Sibulele usesilo Mqaphikazi. I think those are the two assets, ne?
Yeah.
Sibulele, thank you so much, Silo.
Thank you.
For giving us the most powerful topic. Because we live in the most exciting moments. Because there's nothing so exciting to know and to learn who you are. Now, the DNA is something that we cannot see with the naked eye, but it's something that we know that is there. It's what makes life life. Now, when we come as Godwin, is to remind ourselves and truly to honor with such joy and excitement. Our voices are carried by the wind that is forever blowing.
Yes.
Our voices are carried by the waters of these rivers of Mzimvubu and all the waters that run deeper to the oceans. The mountains, they rise and carry us and carry the truth that was once buried, and now we know who we are. We wake up every day because we understand that we were given the knowledge, we were given the power and the tribute by Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela. Mqaphikazi uzinziswa and Mkhulu Nsingiza. We're here to open our hearts, and mostly that key that we don't know, that we forever not see. So I've missed you so much. I woke up this morning that this God is calling my name, and I listened. So by being here again, let's give ourselves a round of applause. Now it's quite inspiring to see that we are forever learning. And again, what is most really exciting is to see the introduction that is done by the generation that will carry what we have started. Because what is happening, we never know and see when the seed is planted into the ground, but we forever enjoying the shade, but that's where it starts. It starts from the seed, and then you say yakum, and you become the human being that you are today. So when we come here again, I'm just going to touch base on the African calendar, just to remind ourselves so that we can forever be aligned and truly understand, as in Bonabakhulu Enjoy. Am I saying the name correctly? This is the 8th month on the African calendar. You need to understand what is happening. What is African calendar? African calendar, it is your DNA tonight. This is your tree of life. This is not what you see, but this is what you are. Now, when you understand what we started the first month on Asa, and we are planting the seed that we are. But now this knowledge, it is the knowledge that was taken away from us. Not by our choice, but what happened is what the colonizers did. Because they were very much smart in doing that. Because they knew that when you don't know who you are, you live a life of forever searching and seeking. And we truly understand that in that searching and in that seeking, that's where we find doubt. That's where we live in the pain. Because now forever you're wondering, where can I find me? Now this is the liberation of Umdomnyama. When you truly wake up and you understand what my story starts more Asa. On the 23rd of September, that is when we planted the seed. And now on the 8th month, but now let's remember, when Besisenza is Lilos Kalumkubulwan, it's because now Ilanga Belisenzani, it was departing to the northern hemisphere. So now this is the time that not what you see. This is the time now as I'm saying, this is the gift that we've been searching for. This is the love of our lives. Because now you truly understand your emotion. You truly understand when it's cold, what is happening to Umoya. You truly understand that the truth, it is Umoya. So Umoya way to learn black people. Umoya way to learn Kemetic people. Umoya way to, this is our melanin. All you've got to do is to align yourself. What is it that you are aligning? You're aligning Ondowago. What is it that you are bringing to life? You are bringing to life by living this lifestyle of the African calendar. So Mkhulu Nsingiza has asked me, Benzo Fulisa Mkhulu, I miss you so much. I miss everybody so much. I did not prepare but Mkhulu, I can never just sit without saying any word. So Mkhulu, it is such an honor to see you go to Saibambile. Nami Saibambile. Even though you don't see me, Nami Saibambile. But it's such a great one. This is our home. That was speakers truly jazzy and truly ask the questions that liberate us. Now we truly come here to understand what is the DNA and why is this so important. Silo touched on it with Mqaphikazi. You are aligning your DNA. Because what has made us to be on this misbalance that we are not is because we have forgotten. We were made and created to forget what we are by the system that brought to us, not by our choice. We understand very much, but that is Mkhulu Nsingiza's gift. To make sure that as we awaken in the spiritual journey, we do not forget what has made us ukuthi sisontululwe. Sisontwe, yes. Sisontululeke. Because that is very much key. When you want to embrace who you are, you have to understand how was I socialized? What made me not to love who I am? What made me to change the color of my hair? What made me to decide to change the color of my skin? We live in a world that now we have forgotten to be proud and truly understand that this is what governs the universe. It doesn't matter where you go. The star that you are, whatever the Kemet that you are, your principle that you are forever vibrating. And you are vibrating at a certain frequency. And that frequency, we call it here, the principles. So align yourself and truly understand Muti. By understanding the African calendar, you're understanding who you are. And by that, you understand the gift that you were given. And what you do now, you manifest that in the physicality. Mkhulu. Give us now the topic.
Anpu, hayi ngiqale nje ngokubonga indlovukazi kade sagcina nathi I'm sure abantu abaningi bakujabulela ukuba khona kwakho. Siyabonga kakhulu ndlovukazi. Sibonge inkosazana nenkosana eyikhulumile ngoba siyagruma. Ilabantu kumele bayibambe lento kuyaphambili. So akumelanga basalele emuva. Noma babheda kanjani ababhedele khona. Ukuze baze bayibambe nabo indlela. Ngelinye lamalanga kuzobe kumebona la. Kube yibo abasiqhubela ivangeli. Ngoba it's all about ivangeli. It's all about the message, how far it reaches to the ears of African people, because this is what is the solution. Impengu yomntu omnyama ile calendar makazi. ayikho enye into, because any other thing ikufaka enyameni. Namhlanje topic kuthiwa i-DNA and the Kemetic tree of life. Mase ngikhuluma kanje ngathi isilungu singaka. Anidinga ama-dictionary, hayi. Mesikhuluma nge-tree of life, sikhuluma ngesigungu samadlozi. Amadlozi la enwaziyo, enwaphahla every day. That is the Kemetic tree of life. Masikhuluma nge-DNA, sikhuluma ngalento le which manifest. Remember, there is the causal plane. A causal plane, that is Atum-Ra, Amun-Ra. That is the causal plane. That is where all the intelligence of the universe and the knowledge and the wisdom resides, but then reflects on the etheric plane. Ayifuni dictionary nayo le. Etheric plane iyithunzi zethu. Before it manifests physically, it imprints itself on the etheric plane. Then the physicality is the cause. Is the effect, sorry. The physical plane is the effect. Right? Yes, but the cause is the causal and the etheric. The causal imprints on the etheric. Mesikhuluma ngamadlozi awu-9. And the other day, I remember I gave a lecture. I reminded Africans ukuthi Tina, we've got 9 DNA strands. Abantu abamnyama, Africans have got 9 DNA strands that corresponds to the 9 principles of the Kemetic tree of life. So it means siphelele. Inkinga is our consciousness. The universe created us complete. But thina siyazehlisa. Naturally we vibrate at a very high frequency. But because sithunjiwe mentally, we then are comfortable with the low vibration. That focuses on the physicality. Yingakho inkosana meyithi, never deprive yourselves an opportunity yokuphahla. What are you doing mawuphahla? I'll make an example. Awujabuli mawuzwa igama lakho. It makes you feel happy again. It's the very same thing now within your system. When the principle that controls your lungs is wa igama layo, it gets activated. Iba excited. So that is the reason yomphahlo. Yikho ngithi umphahlo ungawudeleli is the most powerful thing. Ubuya ngathi into useless. And the Lama principles, when we are talking about the DNA and the Kemetic principles of, the Kemetic tree of life, sikhuluma ngalamadlozi angaphakathi kuwena. The ancestors are within you. When we talk about genetic memory, that is what we are talking about. When we say to you, African, you know everything. There's nothing that you don't know concerning the laws that govern the universe. Because you were the first to receive those laws. Because you are a complete human being. All these principles that are 9, remember they are 9. Kahle kahle, it's 10, right? But now you don't count Atum-Ra. Because Atum-Ra is the source. all the Neteru, Amadlos, Amalunga, it's like Amalins of the source. So all the 9, these are the principles that maintain life, maintains harmony. Make sure that they replenish whatever la kushota khona. Do you understand? So yingakho kuthiwa there are 9 because these are active agents that are responsible for all creation in the universe. So scientists are saying we are the only ones with a 9-strand DNA. They're saying that all other races have got a 6. You will then understand again the innate insecurity of other races. Do you understand? Yingakho, you are supposed to be right there on the floor so that you never emerge and occupy your rightful position again. That is why they will bombard you with their theories. Tina usikhuluma nge-theorem. It's no longer a theory, it's a theorem because it has been proven. Do you understand? So that is the power of an African person. So Messi Zama Uguti si reactivate. Yingako we are calling on collective umphatho. It doesn't matter whether we are in London or we are in Germany. If you are able Ugutu pathenati, so that we are able to create the necessary vibrational frequency that will open all the doors. Hey, the doors are opening, but they need all the souls. Zabanda bamnyama. Ziti very ngang. Very ngang. Very ngang. Anom kumulwan. That's all the Spirit requires of you. Not your labor to be a slave. The Spirit requires of you to assimilate. Gulomoya. When you are busy trying to assimilate in the Western culture, Umoya is saying, no, that's the wrong direction. Assimilate in army and flow with me. Don't put up a resistance. Ulokuwarisha. We are putting up a resistance when you do that. Gutiwa okokobati. Live and experience your desires in your mind. Then everything starts making sense. Everything starts aligning because you are not mounting resistance by going to the length whereby you are ready to kill your brother for you to be able to get that money. That is the worst violation because nature gives you freely. All it says, be with me, flow with me, because you cannot change the direction of the time. Iskati sihamba anti-clockwise, just like the Earth rotational, system. But abelungu basenzeni clockwise. Kusonta sonke emhlabeni. Umhlaba uyahlehla bona bathi hayi siyangapha. Do you understand? So that we are never able to align. with the true. Remember, Guti, what creates these Kemetic principles? It is the electric field that emanates from the sun and the magnetic field that emanates from the moon. They all combine la on Earth. Yingako, the electromagnetic field of Earth is filled with these energies from above. Yingako kutiwa, life on Earth, you know, life receives from above. The Father and the Mother and the Son, the geometric, Trinity. Geometric, Trinity, and the divine Trinity. It's the Mother, the Father, the Son. Do you understand? So, Earth cannot sustain itself without the electric field as well as the magnetic field from the moon. This is what sustains us. And from there, from that electromagnetic field of Earth, that is when you get the imprint of what we call amadlozi, the divine principles. Lezi mesipahla, sipahla zona. And they are not out there. They are within you. Because they are part of you. They are your DNA. Hey, abelong by busy DNA. Tina say busy tree of life. Hey. But then the DNA, which then makes sense for them. For them to comprehend. Lento bafuna will comprehend. That is why there will never be progress in our universe. Why? Because, people are busy trying to invent things that have been invented long time ago. Just to prove how smart they are. And yet that is foolishness. You labor on something that Shabaka has already discovered. So what's the point? You come and tell us as if this thing is new. And yet Shabaka wrote it on the stone. So ingakho ke thina, we need to reactivate the DNA. The DNA will reactivate kanjani? By calling on these names all the time. Amadlozi ayajabula ngaphakathi. They get excited. Oh, they are giving me attention. Huh? Cabanga ukuthi kunini sithunjiwe. Kunini nje uMvelinqangi agcina legama Mvelinqangi the first course. How many years has the Creator heard this name? Hey. Umanje seyezwa bonkulunkulu. Bastardization of ukhulukhulwana. And without even proper understanding. Kuthi thina we had ukhulukhulwane that gave birth to uMvelinqangi. But umlungu don't understand. Uyayinyofa yonke lento ayihlanganise ibe into eyodwa. Manje ke ingakho ke thina we are like sifana nomoya ovuthelela uMvelinqangi. Hey, mesilokho simbiza, simkhothamela, simkhulekela, uMvelinqangi uyajabula because we are part of that. I said the other day, the perpetuation of colonization of our minds brings imbalance in the universe. If consciously, a majority of the people are colonized, whether black, Indian, red, whatever, if the majority are colonized, are looking the opposite direction, then the whole universe is unstable. And the more you perpetuate the colonization, why? Because of the comfort, a temporary comfort you get, and forsake umvelingani. So biza amanye amagama wena. Uthini nga umvelingani? Uthini nga umvelingani? Huh? Ngoba you can't go against nature, Makela. That has been proven several times. You can't go against nature. Kuthiwa lenqola mawuthi uyayivimba iyakududula. It's like a moving train. Ufuna ukuyoma phambi kwayo wena. Uyiphikise ngokuthi hayi umlungu uthe. Hey, that's what these people do to us. I hear you, Mkhulu. But manje thina lapho sigeza izandla sifuna uku-arguisha ngoba thina we are not converting people. It's either we are yizwa lento unesabelo sayo or you don't. Hey, mawungayizwa futhi hayi ukuthi sokuzonda, you'll still be impinji. But manje sesikuthitha ngenye indlela. Hey, no. When it comes to sacred things akumelanga usondele. Ngoba wena uzosehlisa. Thina si vibrator at the vibrational frequency ka Anpu. When ufuna ubiza Scorpio. Ha! Scorpio kings or queens. Kulapho wena. You understand? So, this is what is delaying the struggle of black people. Siphikisana ngezinto ezingekho. Huh? Okhokho bethu were not ambiguous about the creator. Ilanga and nothing else. Whatever foolishness you want to follow, that's your own story. Hey, because of the production of hydrogen by ilanga, and our DNA that we are talking about today is bonded by hydrogen. The sun produces hydrogen. That is why we are connected to the sun forever. Hey. Until the sun disappears, because there will be that moment. Oh, Kokobati, I'm a scientist. Earth was a sun before that exploded, and some parts of it, some debris of it, in that explosion, then came together to form Earth. So, young kid, remember, don't be surprised, because everything is hydrogen. Everything is hydrogen. Mars is hydrogen. Venus is hydrogen. Why? Because all these inner planets and outer planets in our solar system are energized by the sun. So it mustn't surprise you. It should never surprise you. Hey, so there will be that time. Uzobe sowubuyele engulubeni by the time it happened. Where we came from vele. Do you understand? Hey, kuthiwa uBamkredo uthi those that fell from engulubeni, the Orion lab, they are going to return to save us again from ourselves and nothing else. Why? Because we are too arrogant to adhere to the natural law of Ma'at, harmony. We are so destructive in our action. Yingakho they will return and ngathi leso sikhathi sisondele. Labo who have their lights off bazosala. Ngoba bathi beza ngomkhumbi ozosibuyisela la savela khona vele. Ungathuki ngoba wena you are the spirit. So it is your vehicle. It doesn't matter where it finds manifestation in terms of physicality. Spirit, it doesn't have borders. I could be in Mars tomorrow. I could be in Venus tomorrow. I could be in Jupiter. There's no limit for the spirit. So yingakho nje mele sikujabulele lokho. Uqala kabusha. Start afresh. Lento ifana nani? Even icraft yenyanga. Kumele ivalwe nje. Hey, they must shut down inyanga nginyanga. I'm sorry. We need to shut down and start afresh. So that yonke lento ibuyele esithunzini sayo. Because it no longer have respect. Say no tsotsi too much. Senze ubunyanga business, which is not supposed to be like that. Mo nyanga melu upashe lama projects akho kuta succeed, so that your income becomes those projects. Not Indumba. Indumba can't be business. Indumba is a sacred space. Noma kungena umuntu ohlupheka kangakanani kumele umncede. Noma ungena ngo1 ungena ngo3 ekseni uthunele idlozi lo muntu. Awukwazi ukumjikisa egate ngoba akana 20,000. So ifana ke nayo lento yempilo yethu. You know, sometimes you would feel vele ukuthi amakhehla ngavala. Stop ukuphefumula for a while. Basivulele after a week or a month or whatever. Hey, if it was possible, lento ukuthi si freeze abantu. Yazi uthi cho remote. Si freeze so that sipapama being different people, with our memory of our slavery completely erased. Because that is the biggest problem of a black person. The slave mentality is ingrained in your mind. Saba nokufa. Saba nokufa. So makehla iDNA yiyo ke le. iDNA yiyo le ezokukhumbuza yonke into ofuna ukuyazi. Knowledge yomuntu omnyama can never be limited. It's like iGK. Amatopic ethu wire. You can't just block ukuthi hey bavala la. Hayi sesingapha. Mawubhekile sesilapha. Why? Because we are looking at the life of an African person in totality. We are not bottled in spirituality. We are not there. Kepha singabangoma ngoba siphilisa ngengoma. Hey group lezi every Sunday zenza exactly what we are doing mesphahla. The exciter amadlozi ngaphakathi kuthini. Whether ustay kanjani siyakushukumeza isigubhu. Hey, that is activating ilenduza ke iDNA makhehla. iDNA don't look it the way umlungu ayichaza ngakhona. as if it's something that is inaccessible to you. Abhale lapha faki inyoka lapha bese kuthi unyoka kuwe is evil. And yet the shape yale DNA ayibhalile shape yenyoka. Do you understand? Hey, so lento le siyayiphila siyiyo. I wouldn't be Mkhulu or all of us without the 9 principles. That's why our mothers carry us for 9 months. To give Lama principle to fully develop enganeni. Hey, when they are fully developed, all 9 of them, kuthiwa now we are ready uketa. Do you understand? That is when umntwana comes again. It means ke ukuthi mina ngijabulele lento kakhulu, especially our scientists, because kunabodade they are black people, especially in the US. I'm sorry to say this. Ama-scientists abantu abamnyama in Africa. Hey, they're a mess, man. They're a mess. They wouldn't move an inch if Umlungu didn't say so. I'll make an example. Dr. Oyibo was attacked by white professors. Top scientists yabantu abamnyama. Kepa kafika ubab credo so. Hey. Dr. Oyibo, he was attacked by African scientists. Why? Because for him to resolve the problem gagat, where everything or all the 4 forces collapses into. Lento leyo yahlula abo Einstein, nabo Newton. A simple thing they should have asked. Ugogo le Natal ukuthi yonke lento iwela kuphi. Bekezobatshela ukuthi iwela kukhulukhulwane mntanami. Simple. Bahamba baye emabhasithi bayofunda le ugogo wathola isambulelo. Kunokhulukhulwane kunomveli nqama. So yonke into is from here. Projects from here. Automatically it has to resolve back here. Uze wafa uEinstein angayisolvanga leyo. Hey. Kanti fortunately there is Inkosi uShabaka. Ushabaka foresaw the future of the continent. Let me preserve this knowledge on a stone where it can never be destroyed. Yasinceda leyo nto leyo. Because Dr. Oyibo, for him to resolve, that equation mathematically, he relied on the Shabaka stone. But Abelungu were rejecting him because that is not the model they use to arrive at a certain conclusion. So as long as we still live in this life and illusion, we will never be able to fully express. We will always be challenged. I know. What model have you used? Uthi Shabaka, what is that? Hey, bazo shunjalo pen. Abamazu Shabaka. And they will never know Shabaka. And we know why. 6 DNA strand. That's the reason. Sure. Hey, they would never understand Shabaka because Shabaka, in frequency it's at a much higher level. King Shabaka, unified Kush, and what is known now as Kemet. under one. Go after sihlaselwa yile ngane zethu futhi ama-Arab. Do you understand? The Persians. They came several times to create disorder at Kemet. But Ushabaka is one of the kings that restored order again. Wasibhalela ke this scientific, letter on a stone. Kuti ingane zami bazukulu. Ningalinge, you must never be deceived. Here is the truth about the universe. Remember another thing. The base of the pyramids, they equate to the circumference of Earth. Yes, that is science. That is why the Great Pyramid was put where it was put, right at the center of Earth. And that is the 0 point, from which the true meridian, in terms of time calculation, was calculated from. I know the Queen had to come and spoil things and call for the Greenwich meridian, which takes us off the map. Sesilandela njengembuzi, hayi imbuzi. Imbuzi resist imvu.
Kukhona ngasenya ake mapholeleni manje. Kukhona ngasenya ake
So, that's why last week we were talking about Anpu being melanin. Melanin is that sheet that imprints on these principles. Meaning ukuthi yonke into imbozwe ile melanin. Because that is the communication agent between umvelingana, Aah no Jehuti. Once you violate the law, Jehuti communicates to you and saying that. And then nakhona usasazelwa Aah uthi ku Jehuti, uyabona ukuthi le ngane oyidalile ngalama frequency akho zenzani. Ngoba it's Jehuti who gave us this frequency. Aah athi hayi ngishawa ibhobo, uJehuti athi yini, athi le ngane. Look at how they are violating the natural laws. Do you understand? Langa phakathi kithina. That is the communication that happens between Lama principles and umvelingana. Remember ukuthi Aah no Jehuti no Atumra, it's one thing. It's 3 in 1 and 1 in 3. Remember ukuthi the atom grows by division. Science says that, Mkhulu. Science says that the atom grows by division. Ubeyedwa, then there are three. Sacred geometry. Sequence lega immortal. The emanation from the universe in that, cyclical, emotion. Ifana nale theorem le gaga imhotep again. I see to Pythagoras because it's the thief. It can never be Pythagoras nabo Fibonacci. Do you understand? Because ingane kubo imhotep labantu. Abo imhotep, these are the people who gave us this science. Right angle, triangle. Umlungu kuthemile. Awusayizwa ke lento meseke ikhuluma. Kanti ngabe uyisimplifyile ubaba umama ingane finish. That is the pyramid of the universe. Remember ukuthi kunalama pyramid ahlangene la phakathi emkhathini. Elinye liyaphezulu elinye liyaphansi. Li representa umbilini la kuspine sakho. Umbilini elinye ichubu liyenyusa elinye ichubu liyakhipha. That is the very same thing that happens in our electromagnetic fields. One goes in, one goes out. That is the structure of our universe. And that is the imprint in everything that lives on earth. Kumbule futhi ukuthi these 9 principles, the Kemetic, tree of life. Yila ma principle langa tina okumele siwaphile. Do you understand? Yila ma principle langa tina okumele siwaphile singawa theorize. We shouldn't theorize them. Because ama principle aphila langa phakathi kithina. So with the guidance of knowing the calendar, that's when we understand. Ukuthi, there are 9. For Okoko to complete the 12, they had to bring in Aah Het-Her because he's a companion Gaheru. Do you understand? They had to bring in Uheru because Uinzalo ga Asano Oset. Do you understand? They had to bring in Anpu. Do you understand? They had to bring in Ulenduzu Sechmet. Usechmet Ura. So I am Ra. Angisho lokhu because ngifuna ukunthuza. Bakhona abantu abangakwenza lokho, hayi Mkhulu Nsingiza. I will always remain humble. Do you understand? Ukuthi uSechmet uyi-combustion. Ubuke lapha ku-furnace. When they are heating up the steel, that combustion from the sun, that is Sechmet. Yingakho mawukwatile ungalibizi lelo gama. Ngoba lo muntu loyo omkwatele usenkingeni. So please Makhehla uzwa ngathi mina lento le thina asibona abathakathi la eGK. Everything, the power that we learn from our ancestors, we don't use it to harm each other, but we use it to empower and further strengthen our unity. Not take advantage ukuthi mina ngihujehuti. Therefore, into engiyikhulumayo iyenzeka. Bese ke manje uzosishaya because ujehuti. Uyayithola leyo nto leyo. Ayifuneki leyo nto because bakhona abantu abanjalo naturally. They are corrupt naturally from their DNA. The minute they get advantage of something, then everybody must feel. ukuthi bona they are in control, bona they are in power. We are not that like UK. As much as we are different and we are gifted differently, we need to complement each other to complete the picture. You will never find a principle Mqaphikazi uHet-Her. Iklasha nenye principle lenzansi. uHet-Her wenza isiqephu sakhe. And the isiqephu sakhe satisfies everybody. Meaning ukuthi the light that shines upon the stars zikaHet-Her zishinela everybody. But it sees in uHet-Her. uHet-Her says, how can I help to ease and create harmony within the will ye-calendar? uHet-Her akathi, hayi, yimi umbondi wale bhodo. Ngizobafakela ipoison lapho. Uyayithola leyo nto leyo. Because the minute you even think like that, you've just violated. Because umoya, your thoughts are registered in your heart. Who controls the heart? My heart. So you can't escape. Ungasikhohlisa thina usitshela ukuthi hayi angiyenzanga mina lento. Uma athi ukubonile, bowuguqile ubusuku bonke. Hey. Uphehla amanzi amnyama. So when you can never agree to that, Makasha. I'm just warning us so that singabantu abamnyama, we must always create harmony amongst us. Kunini silwa and silwa into esingayazi. Phela izimpi za before, we would fight over a girlfriend. Isigodi sonke, the whole village is fighting. People are killing each other. Why? Because the other one took other's girlfriend. That's foolishness. Not only good, but now even these, hungry, bloodthirsty NATO members, that's what they would do. Even Jisuga in Europe, because Hitler ushaya Mussolini ngetina. So these are useless things. Very useless. We don't need to be vibrating at that level. We don't need to be vibrating at that level at all. Tina, we are harmonizing with the Kemetic principles, which are embedded in our DNA, so that we can create harmony. Remember, during the golden era of the continent, it was the most harmonious era on the continent. You could leave South Africa, ufike Nigeria, ungaphethanga mpako. Why? Because all over the continent, people would fight to give you something. Not these days. When I think about going to Kenya, I think about the Kenyans that I messed up here in South Africa. Uguti, they might see me in Kenya. They do the same thing to me. Those that are in Nigeria, because this foolishness is spreading all over the continent. Nigeria is doing the same thing that some of the people in South Africa are doing. Chasing away people from Ghana. Chasing away people from wherever. Do you understand? That is foolishness. Inkinga yethu on the continent sonke, it's leadership. The person who runs away from Kenya is running away from Uhuru and his Western agenda. Same thing in Nigeria. Same thing there. Elenduza, Ethiopia. They are here running away from the same leaders that we are suffering from here. So inkinga yomntomnyama is not another black person. It's the leaders that are controlling and misrepresenting us and also abusing our resources. Africa is the most wealthiest, continent in the whole world. Umuntu wase Africa bokumele afane nomuntu wase yindawo le. But kunendawo eMonaco. In Monaco. But it's the most expensive place. And everybody there is sorted. That is how, Africa should. Look, it's Saudi Arabia. Then they end up doing all this nonsense. Yamapoti, whatever. Sis, man. Hey, why? Because now they regard us as a 4th class or 5th class citizens of the world. We are richer than Saudi Arabia. These people are supposed to bow down on the continent, but they don't. Why? Because we don't have visionary leaders who are prepared to die for us. All they know is selling us, selling us. We end up going cap in hand. Look at the generation that is being destroyed by just lack of resources. Kubantwini abamnyama. Huh? Ubabona ngezinzipho ezinde nama high heels. Neinywele shaya phansi. Kanti what they go through lengane. Ibsumu. They are destroying future leaders of the continent. Because when you kill women of that place, we are destroying the whole place. So that is why we've got to unite as a black people and fight against this injustice. Are you correct, Lendo Guti? It's not okay, Mokes. But is Hoko. She says Zului. Agnas Hoko says Zului, man. Umdomnyamu says Hoko already. We are in hell. Poverty is hell. Then they say, Guti, no, you must give all the resources to them. Where now, your peace you'll find in heaven. No tula kwakho, meaning Guti, you must relinquish all the healthy or the earthly things that are supposed to make your life comfortable whilst you are still here. But Begale, ezulwini lelo Zulu. Ngoba bapende uSathane ufana nawe bathi another black person ofana nawe ukulindile ngemforoko la. He's waiting for you. They are even racist na kule Zulu la. They create an illusion. Then they imbue lapho racism. Why uSathane kuhuye onamehlo abomvu omnyama uphethe imforoko to deal with another black person who's coming there. Hey, injalo makhesi. So isifundo ke sanamhlanje ukuthi siyeke ukulokho sithuswa elamagama abelungu. I-DNA yisigungu samadlozi esiphila ngaphakathi kuwena. It lives within you. That council of our ancestors lives within you. And ifuna uyihloniphe all the time and give reverence. It's not costing you anything to break in Jongo 12. It doesn't matter wherever you are. Amandia, they do that. Now, but I will be pasa. Mekuzotenga la ispaza ngo1. Uguqile lo muntu uyathandaza. Manje wena mntu omnyama uhlulwa yini? Doesn't matter use officini okuphi. Futhi officini you mustn't be scared. You must tell them. This is the sacred moment for me. 12 o'clock I cannot miss. It doesn't matter how much work you are giving me, but I've got to stop 5-2 and prepare uphahla. Uphahle lo 5-10 minutes uqedeke ubuyele emsebenzini wakho. We've got to go back to that routine as a, African people. Because salvation yethu is right there. Salvation yethu is right there. Yonke into esiyidingayo uzwa kehle nginokuyisho lento as a joke. Konke, everything that was taken from us will be returned without us firing one bullet. Hey. Ngalo moya nje, giving reverence. Giving reverence every morning. Giving reverence, during the day. At night, sunset, you are doing the same thing. Uhamba nomveli ncane. Uflowa naye. You even understand the vibrational frequency of a season. Ukuthi le season isho ukuthi this is what I'm able to do. Njengoba besikhuluma the other time ukuthi remember the creator hears our emotions. Not your screams. Ukuthi umrasela ngakanani, that doesn't matter. Efana nathi la GK. Sinandaba namagama ka 1000. Izenzo zakho. This is what makes us respect you or disrespect you. So it's the same thing nangale. Your emotions. Ungarasa la ume phambi kwethu. Ulokhu upraise umveli ncane. Kanti la ngaphakathi ubiza something else. Yenzeka leyo nto leyo. Abantu who are two-faced, where you will never understand ukuthi lo muntu maybe. Meke nani ukhuluma kanje. Emakhoneni wenza something else. So manje ke remember sathi thina. We experience all the 12 spectrum of emotions. Emotions which are linked to the calendar. There is emotion for Asa, the first month. Uzothola ukuthi abantu nje they behave ngaleyo ndlela because there is the prevalence of that frequency at the time. Kube nesikhathi la abantu yare ibhari igcwele abagwazani kanje abantu. Why? Because energy empi. But these people are not channeling that energy to the proper direction. It ends up making them fight. Do you understand? Why? Because those people are ignorant of the calendar, are ignorant of spirituality. So these are all the reasons that we as African people need to realign with nature, not to Mkhulu. I'm also still a seeker. Don't look up to me. I'm a seeker. I don't have all the answers. That is why I read every day. Because I'm a seeker. So don't come to me for answers. Iakubo directly, Ngoba kusasa uzothi Mkhulu Nsingiza wathi. Ngikho lapho mina. So ilentuza isifundo silapho makheso. Ngiyazi ukuthi mesithatha lezi zinto lezi kuba nezinto abantu abafuna ucaciselwa ngazo. Mina the only work that I do and ngifile ukuthi yenzeke kahle when we are able to demystify all these concepts that seem so impossible. Huh? Uzobantu njengama amalentuza the Chinese, they talk about feng shui. Do you understand? Hey, it means ukuthi labantu laba are rooted in their spirituality. And they believe ukuthi bona the direction of the east is the most important direction in the cardinal points. Tina sise north. It's important, the rising of the sun, because it ushers in a new life. But we are talking about the maximization of that energy. It reaches its maximum point in the north. Isuke seyisuthi thina mesiyilanda ngapha. Do you understand? So kumele sibe rooted in our own things. You understand ukuthi okhokho yingani they actually spoke this way. Ungahaleli into zabantu. As if wena unazi zakho. Learn and research. Amandiya ke bona ngazi ke ngoba kuthiwa leya Mecca leya, but it's one of the meteorites that fell and entered earth. Yiyo le abayiranda kuyo lapho. Do you understand? Thina sikho lapho. Asiraundi zonke lezo zinto. Why? Because Tina, we are always connected. Remember, 9 DNA strand that communicates and corresponds to that tree of life. So you are always connected. The only problem is your consciousness. Ukuphi ngomqondo sekonka noma ukuphi. Silapho makheso. Manje ke ngicela ukuhlehla Ndlovukazi. Siyabonga Ndlovukazi ukubona. Uyasikhuthaza kakhulu. Ngizohlehla kepha if asengejeni makheso. Uzwa la mina ngithekini ngifunda every day because I don't know everything. You understand? So manje ningathathi lento engiyisho nje as the alpha and omega. Hamba double check wena so that uzwa in Africa asithi kholelwa nje, just believe. Or believe is brought by proof. Once you've proven something, then you have 200% belief in this thing. Because uyibonile yenzakala. So sikho njalo thina ma-Afrika. And akunabutsotsi e-Afrika. La ngizotheni ngazongibuza ama-question la. Ngiqedile ukunitshela lento enginitshela yona. Finish. Ngimbuza. Akunabutsotsi la GK. Into oyikhulumayo kumele uyimele. Ungakhulumi into ongeke uyimele la. When you stand up and talk something, you must be prepared to answer each and every question. Doesn't matter ukuthi suka from what angle. So sime ngaleyo foundation la GK. And enye into engicelayo futhi kakhulu for us to assist in this journey ka Anpu. Remember, Anpu says, "Make me talk without uttering any words." That's power. Do you understand? That is power. So manje leyo nkulumo inkulumo yama emotions. Evoke the necessary emotion for your situation, for your desire. Evoke that emotion and swim in that emotion when I can. And swim in that emotion. In that way, you are assisting the universe to make sure that your desires are achieved. Nyazi okhokho banifundisa ukuthi indoda yodla ithukuthukhu zayo. But manje si operate intelligently now. Do you understand? My emotions, yonke into it's about emotion. Without emotion, you will never be able, because the emotion, it's like a glue. There's my desire. I can see it clearly, the picture in my mind. But I cannot manifest this desire without the necessary emotion. Just feel. How am I going to feel when this thing is here? That's all it requires. Uhleli nje endlini lapha. Ceda ukudla ipapa ulale nje. God, you should be doing the spiritual work, Kehla. To change your situation. It's not asizinto zama magic ukuthi hey abanye abantu benza ngama magic. Cha, they have mastered the art of emotions. Once you can master that, uqedile Kehla. Yonke into oyifisayo, as long as ungasumthakathi, ungafisi kabi ngoba kukhona lokho. Ukwathiso umuntu la. Wena so uya to the extreme. So mfisela ngathi angafa nokufa. Hawu ndoda. Hawu. Hayi buya nganeno. Because the minute wenza njalo, ungcolisa idlozi lakho. It doesn't matter ukuthi umuntu ukuhethe kangakanani. Muyekelele emoyeni, let umoya deal with that person. Uphume kuye wena. Ngoba wena irole yakho ukwakha ikusasa lakho ngokamoya. Especially during this time. There's no time to waste during this season dealing with grudges. I know, because it's cut so more. It's on born. That's what we say. I'm Zomlinda. Anpu yeza. Season of Anpu is coming. Going to deal with him. So we're not there, Maket. Anpu simu sebenzisela ukuthi by September, when physicality time returns again, I'm able to have a product or a service that I say from offset period season, I was constructing this in my subconscious mind, and there it is now physically. That's what we want from everybody. Hey, why? Because all of us are busy building.
Yeah.
We are not destroying each other. Hey, the enemy yinye. We know who the enemy is. System and all its agents. The system and all its agents. Hey, ngoba by now, Mkhulu, if you were truly in control and in power, look how Mkhulu Nsingiza. Remember Gucci, when they took over from the British, Baka lesonto labo bati engie gak. Hey, those churches were state funded all over South Africa. Amapunu had a place that they call, this is our sacred space. Siyangena thina. Kwenzakalani? What hurts even more, Uguti, our own people went to a point, Uguti, airport. There is a sacred room for the Jews. There is a sacred room for the Indians. All our airports, they have those rooms, but nothing for African people. What madness is that? Lo muntu loyo who thinks like that, umtini, who goes and deprives, it's like ubaba was next, ubaba ujole next door. Ulambisi ingane la endlini. Kopha ngapha next door, kuMqaphikazi. Nibona ingane lokho ziyakhukhumala. Huh?
Facts on facts.
Ingane ziyakhukhumala. Ubaba onjani loyo? You don't deserve to be called a father, man. Angazi uyini. How do you do that? In an African country, wazi kahle ukuthi kunenyanga, there's our spirituality that also needs that sacred room. They don't deserve it. They are black. Self-hate. You hate yourself that much that you don't see beauty in any blackness. Ibhlungu lento le, ibhlungu Makhehla. Siyayikhuluma kepha ibhlungu. One day sizoyikhuluma sesikhululekile. Sihleli lapha entabeni zaseBergville eMangwaneni. Sesidla ama prawns. Manje sisadla amagwinya. Sisalala ngamagwinya nesikhona lesikwa sase pep. Yeah, no, not pep. Spa. Bathi sibasphake angasinjani. Uyakhona ukusheba ngaso ngetiye ulale. Do you understand? But isikhathi sama prawns nabo angazi lezi zinto ezifani ezimomela uyiphule ngeinsimbi. Yini ama lobster. Number nidla Makhehla. Bukani Makhehla leso sikhathi buka. Isikhathi leso sama prawns yonke le bili boqeni ihalelayo. Siyeza. Isikhathi manje sokuthi sibophe ibhande. Silwe. Because without ukulwa, even if asilwi physically, silwa ngokamoya mesilokho siphahla. Mina ngilongiphahla amadlozi afunda ingaphakathi lami. Ukuthi yini le that keeps resonating within. Abanye abantu bazothi ngiyaloya. Kanti angiloyi ngoba mawuzama ukungiloya ibuyele emuva. Hey, bazosho njalo phela abantu. Hayi kuningi simzama lo. Akayindawo. Vele bafunga. Angiyindawo. Ngoba ngiyaphahla every day. Hey, alikho ilanga la ngaphahli khona. And alikho ilanga la ngafundi khona nge-information yokhokho bethu. And lokho kuvula i-third eye yami. ayikho into ongangenza yona ngeke ngiyithole ephushweni. Bengisatshela uZesilo the other day. Ngithi umama ongizalayo unomdudula. Umnikazi wama-magic. Nothing bad happens to me without me knowing. Angahlala for 3 months angaveli man. Ngisondele nje wena. Ngisondele nje wena uzame istory zakho. Ungitshela kahle ebusuku mengivuka. Ngenze ngathi angizwanga, ngenze ngathi angibonanga. Sengibheka izenzo zakho ngithi. Bangitshelile ukuthi hayi uzombona uzobe efaka ijazi elibomvu. Uzobe segeyidini. Lo muntu abevele egeyidini ngithi nami. Sengiyazi ukuthi lo kwenzakalani ngaye. Umoya loyo. Mina ngisabuka impande ngiyayazi ngithwasele. But mina ngithembele empandeni. Ngithembele emoyeni. Impande incedisa umoya ngalesikhathi sika Anpu. Ngithatha wonke amakhambi ka Anpu because it's the right season to support the necessary energy that is prevalent. Manje abanye abantu without impande akunampilo. So babelele lapho. Hayi no, usibanibani. Uma sibanibani akakanginiki le nduku angipromise yona. Then in life yakho gets stuck. Kanjani? Ungacontrolwa izinto zenyama. Your spirituality is much more powerful. Spirituality created everything physical. Ikhambi la createwa umoya. So how can ikhambi be stronger than umoya? Can never be. Tembela kulo moya. Even in your worst times. Ngathi mina ngangidlula kunzima kukubi. Ngibize nje wasawo said here finish. And mina that's my secret. That's what I keep reciting. That's my mantra. Nya drive ngenzani. That's my mantra. Asawo said here. The divine trinity. That's all I live by. And ngeke ungithinte khehla ngikutshela iqinisa ngiqamba manga. Ngeke ungithinte. Mina ngiyofa ngoba okhokho sebengibiza. Kuthi uzongibulala. Isikhathi sami singakafiki. Ngakulunge. And the worst of it, angisabi ukufa mina. Ngoba that is renewal. So ngakuzongithusela ukuthi ngizokuthengela inkabi zikubulale. Nandaba nalokho mina. Engikwaziyo ukuthi the day ngihamba ngithula lezo inkabi zakho uzohlanya zonke nawe sir. That's what I know. That is my belief kulo moya. Sengikhulume kwebe. Ngicela ukuhlehla. Ngibonge lapha emakhaya. Ngiyabonga kakhulu. Makhosi namakhosikazi asibukele. Let's take Africa forward. By totally believing in the DNA, which is the Kemetic tree of life. No longer look at the DNA as something that is there for white people. DNA is what makes you tick. DNA is your genetic memory. That's why we always say, Guti, when we speak here, we are not saying anything new to you. You know everything that we are saying. It's just that you've forgotten. So we are not that special. There's nothing new as he showed. Everything we are saying, you know it. It's there in your DNA. Mele nje uyikhumbuze. Singa engage ke makhehla if kunama question thokoza.
Anpu.
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 Anumkhulu.
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 Ajehut.
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 Askhmet.
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 Asukuzwe.
Hey.
Mkhulu, amina ngizixolisa nje. Ngoba mina ngithi 200% yabona mkhulu. Thina ngokwethu besine magnesium before la one beza vele. Angithi they landed with whatever that they landed with. So thina besingadli ukudla mkhulu. So the actual DNA yethu magnesium iron mkhulu. Ngoba ubheki iron mayishaya nelanga ilihlo lakho liyarasta liba brownish nyana. So kumelanga kube njalo. Ngithola mkhulu. Kumele kube mnyama, kube kuhle, kube mhlophe. Angithi bona mababhekile ukuthi into emhlophe yile ekanje kanti akusiyo mkhulu. So isihlahla thina we made of chlorophyll mkhulu because we will absorb the energy, the electromagnetic spectrum. Njengoba nawe mawuthi ngelihlo nje idayimani yonke into ilihlo liyayibona la yini in the 12 electromagnetic spectrum. So mkhulu mina ngithi asithokoze i200%.
No thokoza.
Ngixolisa futhi.
No thokoza siyabonga lento oyishoyo yiyo. Into engifuna ukuyicorrecta ilento ye-iron. I-iron is here. Us. The core of earth. There's iron there. What is burning is molten iron. Do you understand? So if everything as above, so is below, as within, as without, everything that is on earth is here within us. So you don't counteract iron. That's why, yeah, our medication, like I was saying the other, lecture, in medication here is supposed to be different from the medication here because naturally we have iron. So that's why they put a lot of metals in their medication, and that is a poison for us. We don't need that medication. So ilapho guys. Siyabonga ngoba ukhombisa intshisakalo of researching. Lento oyikhuluma iziyiso but inkinga nje ilento le. Remember ukuthi kunafana nalento I don't even want us to get to this flat earth theory because it never finishes. It never finishes. Hey, ukuthi at the core of earth it's a ball of iron. And that ball of iron, yiyo le bamba the magnetic field. Yiyo le creator the magnetic field around our planet. And those electromagnetic fields are from the sun and the moon. Mezi reflector as the projector on earth. Zingena zi creator that a magnetic field. At the center, it's iron. Togoza, okay. Sure. Another question.
Good. Njobe bengisanokubheka ngazibonela mina ukuthi njoba ushu kumoya uthe futhi bengizibuza ukuthi akusama clouds maybe ngathi
Amanzi.
amanzi.
Amanzi, remember ukuthi ukuhlangana kukashu no Tefnut created umoya namanzi, created some plasma. That is why ulenduza unut no gap bazalwa behlangene because bazalwa ushu no Tefnut. Ulenduza umvele ncange had to call on shu to come in between gap and nut to separate them. Do you understand? Hey. Ila.
Manje uphathaye la ungena.
Oh, Upta is that force that made Ukulukulwane move. Upta is that force that created movement. Remember Ukulukulwane, it's stillness, where everything is just still, harmonious, everything. But then, before kuvela umveli ncane, which is the sun, kwaba nokuzamazama, right? And the lokho kuzamazama kwakhoshwa ubutha. Ubutha then wasepuchuka. He became, Ubutha became the mold upon which Atum sat. Kuye kwaba intaba because it was hot lava. You know, as it cools down. Then Atum was able to sit on top. Then creation started. Yes. Intaba eyafomeka qala. Out of ukhulukhulwana. From the waters of abyss. Yes. Laba biza ukuthi prime valley waters. That is carbon and nothing else. It's a carbon soup. So ulenduza Ubutha created that was sterage that carbon. Ukubila kwayo yayenza kubile njengomjobo mawubila wenzani. Hey, so kwase kukhuphuka ke this lava ya lenduza yathola umoya. Kwaba intaba njengoba uyintaba uyibona namhlanje. Bakutshele ngabo flat earth. Flat earth kanjani sinentabeni. Thokoza. Any other question?
Thokozani ke. Ngiyabingelela ngasekhaya. Mkhulu mina benginombuzo nje phakathi kuka-Asa nayo Anpu ngoba ngizwa ngathi principle yaka Anpu iphuma as a production between Asa noNephet as mhlambe kuvela uHero between Oset no-Asa. Ungangixplaina further from the principle yaka
Thokoza ngaye kuthena lento before ukuthi that is the origins Stina.
Stina, yes.
Hey, remember these are brothers and sisters. Asa no Oset bayafrustana. Manje uAsa ukhalela uNephet. Ushiyo Oset yongena uNephet. Kuzalwa uAna. But these are chemical. It's a chemical reaction that happens in the universe. Meaning ukuthi wena ke ulenduza. Remember ukuthi Asa no Oset. It's a perfect combination. Yingakho kuthiwa they are brothers and sisters because they are two sides of the same coin. Right? But now a combination that remember ukuthi uOset no Nephet, they are like twins. Angumsoli wasa uthe waphina wagidla no Nephet. Bebefana futhi bekedakiwe bathi bamniki wine walahla. Azanga sakhona ukubona ukuthi ubani Oset ubani Nephet. Ugcine sekegidla. Wavela ku-Anpu. So uSet ungamblame. I-anger ne-vengeance kaSet isuka from kuleso sense. Kuthi wena uzodabula umuzi wami. Sinine-harmony mina no-Nephet simnandi. When we are coming to disturb that peace. That is why there is a continuous fight. Uset uzama ukuyibuyiselela by always continuously trying to destroy Asa. Because Asa wamsha ngestil. Angazi noma uya understand. Sengibeke ukuthi si understand sonke. Do you understand? But it is a chemical reaction. When you take let's say as an example, hydrogen, uhlanganisa ne-oxygen. Mhlambe uthathe hydrogen, uhlanganise ne-helium or lithium. You know, this is what will result. Do you understand? So these are experiments now in our home labs here. So that is proven izinto lezi. Nalento leyo ukuthi i-oxygen. Remember ukuthi i-hydrogen ne-oxygen zileta impilo. There's no life without hydrogen and oxygen on earth. amanzi avela impilo ivela emanzini siphefumula amanzi this thing we call air, that is water, thinner form of water. It's the same substance efana nalesi emfuleni nasolwandle. So without uasa no oset no khulukhulwane, remember ukhulukhulwane engulfs the whole universe. Uyibambe kanje. Yonke into that has to be created has to via the sun. Do you understand? The sun is then the intelligence of ukhulukhulwane. The sun ukhulukhulwane. Because the sun burns carbon to produce hydrogen. So we can say Guti hydrogen went through its transmutation to be carbon went through its transmutation to be hydrogen. Because that's what happened. If you remember, when you look at a picture of Nun, Nun is like the active agent from ukhulukhulwane, right? Nun is khulukhulwane, but ukhulukhulwane unyusa bani uKepri, the agent of transformation, meaning is an indication ukuthi it's transforming carbon into hydrogen. Simple science. Simple science when I talk that. Hey, market, as not yes, we haven't been having electricity for almost 4 days now. Kula makaza lang. You know, kukhona ngazi bathi kune transformer emoshekile. But hopefully by tomorrow we'll have electricity. So ingakho uthola ukuthi hey namakhala ayazenzela. Useni makhala. Any other question before sinikezela indlovukazi? Ivale. How? Wabuza manje. Ipasi ibhaliwe. Awaseka ama-question makhala. Hayi no asivaleni makhala sivalele indlovukazi. Usibongele nalabo basemakhaya.
Let's give Mkhulu a round of applause. And I think let's extend the gratitude. Sibonge umama kaMkhulu Nsingiza. Sithi nomdudula.
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 Nomdudula. Nomdudula. Nomdudula.
And let's go to the father. Loli.
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 Loli. Loli.
It's always important to remember the roots. Mkhulu did not create himself in the physicality. Was given birth by Mama Waki. But in that, you know, when you are giving birth to a child, you truly never see the gift that they are carrying. Now we have the privilege of truly Mkhulu enjoying the gift. And we have to truly learn that it doesn't matter what we go through. Let's not lose what is gifted and what is in us. Because through the troubles that we go through, because Mkhulu uthi, flow with me, be with me. Now in the spiritual language, you must always ask the question, who's talking? Which frequency am I vibrating on? Once you understand Ujehut and you understand, that's the frequency of resonance. Now you understand when you are a spiritual being, what are you flowing with? What are you supposed to be? And who are you? Who am I? Now that is the liberation right there. But Mkhulu, spirit does not have borders. Again, we limit ourselves, quoting him, in this temporary comfort. We limit our ability to extend to the horizon and understand that the emotions that you have, I'm quoting Mkhulu Nsingiza too, the emotions that you have right now are vibrating at a frequency. That is why Mkhulu said you always be vigilant on the emotions, because they are vibrating, they are sending a message on the etheric body. And that message from the etheric body, it goes to the causal plane. Mawuphahla as a collective, in the unity, in the spirit. That is where the emotions are crucial. Because once we understand that we are one spirit, then we are united. As above, so below. Now spoke about, which I truly love, when he says that there's an art of emotion. Be very smart on how you go to your day-to-day, and that's where we lack as the future grandfathers and grandmothers. We forever get carried away by what we see. We are forever boxed in these 5 senses. We are forever boxed in what we see. We truly not liberate ourselves and truly see. Now, I think the question that I have, Mkhulu Nsingiza, is if we are energy and we are forever vibrating at a certain frequency, now if my emotions in this current lifetime are not liberated, what's going to happen to my next life? Is there a next life? Because we find ourselves that when we go through the life and we understand that whatever I'm going through, it didn't start the day I was born. It is a continuation. That's where Mkhulu always enlighten us to truly understand what apartheid, what slavery did to our physicality. Because if we are in energy, because energy cannot be destroyed, it forever lives. That's when we have to see beyond the horizons. I carry the pain of my grandfather. I carry the pain of my grandmother. And as a collective, we carry the pain of our forefathers.